Welcome everybody. As you come in, let me know that you're here. You guys know, you're early birds, that I always start early. There is a handout if you want to download it in just a few minutes. I want to take on questions right away. And then I want to run my new summit stuff all for you guys. You're the only agents to know about this, my boot campers. I want to get your feedback, please. And I want to tell you what I'm trying to do here, and I want to tell you why I'm doing it. And I'm going to try to stay loyal to the group launch sequence as well. That's so much fun to put into practice the stuff we talk about. Nancy said, "Well done, Stuart. The closest I ever got was riding in the plane as the guy I was dating jumped out." Thank you, Nancy. So you didn't skydive. So before we clicked record, if you're watching this offline, friends, I just had asked anybody in the house if they had skydived, because my wife and I did it a few weeks ago at West Tennessee Skydive, and it was simply amazing, truly life-changing. Okay, here we go. Yolanda said absolutely. Absolutely to what? I have talked about so many things already, except business, that I forgot what you're saying absolutely. Oh, amazing. Yeah. It is. I can't wait to do it again. Yes, going to do it again. All right. So I'm going to start with a question, and then if you guys got something, you know the drill. If you're new here, welcome. I'm not sure if Jennifer is here because I've got two of your questions we're going to tackle, Jennifer. In fact, we're going to start off with you. You had posted this in Facebook, and I want to make sure that you hear this and everybody hears this, and I want to explain in more detail. Jennifer says, "Hello, I'm new to the group. I've been working through the training. I'm hoping to convert the majority of my business to groups. Yay. Here's my question. Should I use the group launch sequence if I'm the group hostess and leader? Thoughts?" And if you haven't yet seen what I responded, you probably know what I'm going to say. The answer is yes. You still need to do it. Let me tell you why. Just because you're the leader and the hostess, everyone's coming, and I don't even know what the theme of the group is, doesn't make a difference, Jennifer. For all I know, this is just Jennifer going on a trip and inviting your closest friends and family and clients to come with you. There could be a greater purpose, but I don't even know, and I'm still going to give you the answer. It's essential, because even your friends and family, forget about clients who may want to travel with you, they still need the group launch sequence to know when it's time to buy. Because I feel the risk is too great if we don't take control of the sale and end up scurrying and hurrying and freaking out that, oh no, nobody went first. I was going to say nobody jumped first, but the skydive reference might scare some of you. But I'm serious, because jumping first for some people when it comes to booking a vacation is scary, right? And I know, Nancy, I have a feeling you're shaking your head now. So many of you are who have done the group launch sequence, because if you don't see others doing it first, then sometimes people say, well, let me wait. Let me make sure. Oh, I love Jennifer. I love Nancy. I love Karen. But, let me make sure this is going to happen before we commit. So by doing the group launch sequence, you are taking control. You're doing the save the date or the whisper campaign. You're doing the series of events, right, which explain what it's all about. And remember, in group launch sequence, everybody, I redefined the word promotion, because remember, what makes group launch sequence special and impactful and effective is that you do the promotions before you open up for sale. And the way I redefine promotions is that you are not selling, but you're removing obstacles, fears, trepidations, any reason why somebody might say, I'm not going to go. And then they already know that they can't pay you yet, they can't buy it yet, and you get them hanging on and sort of lined up outside the door. And when you say, boom, on Saturday, we open. Maybe Friday is your VIP sale, We've talked about that. And Saturday, we're open for business. And I guarantee you, Jennifer, and everybody, and friends, if you've done this with Group Launch Sequence, type it in. Let me see it and I'll read it, or tell me and I'll put your microphone on. Because even if you're the leader, you still need to do that. You still need to take control, ask for the business, and build up that same anticipation and momentum. And also, one more thing, Jennifer, is that, and again, I don't know the terms of this group. Can one of your friends bring their friends? See, I did that with my river cruise. So by doing the group launch sequence, you have plenty of time to entice, encourage your friends and family to, hey, why don't you invite one of your friends or one of your family members to participate in the series of information. You see, that's non-threatening. If you try to tell your friends right away, hey, listen, tell everybody, let's get them booked. Who do you want to travel with? Well, that's too curt. It's too quick. It's too fast. Those people will feel less intimidated if they are just being asked to go through a series of presentations first, and then they'll decide. And I'm telling you, you guys know this, that the people who stick through the presentations, they're going to buy. The person who doesn't show up for the second presentation, they're probably not going to buy. And that's fine. You know before you go. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Yolanda, you have skydived, so you and I are going to have a conversation, because it is the most amazing experience, right? So we definitely share a connection of doing something that is truly death-defying. Before we went, my friend who decided not to go because he's a really big guy and he's too big for a tandem ride. He said, you do realize, Stuart, that you'll be plummeting to the earth at about 120 miles an hour, and the only thing that's going to save you is a piece of silk. I said, wow, Sam, I never quite heard it put that way, but that's what I signed up for. Jennifer's here. You are here, Jennifer. I hope you heard that, and I don't know if you have any comments or questions on it. And Karen has a question, and Yolanda's laughing. All right, Karen, you've got a question. I'm going to come to you. I got to put my glasses on. Jennifer, I hope that helped regarding group launch sequence. And I want to take on the other question you typed in, everybody. Hold on. She sent it by email. It just came in. Listen, everybody, I'd love to get your input as well. Jennifer says, can you give me some input on whether it's a good idea for my company to sponsor church-related events? Now, I can't stop there and answer it because there's a little bit of a backstory. So Jennifer wants to know, is it a good idea to sponsor church-related events? I would like to be known as a luxury group travel specialist in the faith-based arena. I say that slow, friends, because I want you to see what Jennifer is doing. She's got a niche within a niche within a niche, right? A niche is group, a niche is luxury, and then a niche is faith-based arena. I love it, friends. The more you niche, the better it is for you to market and for people to get to know you, for you to specialize, and then to flock to you because you have a specialty. Pardon the word flock when it comes to church, but it just worked. But she goes on, but I often get calls to participate in local events as a sponsor. And I'm not sure if I should just join or wait for an ideal client type opportunity. It's made me start to think maybe I should look into sponsoring faith-based events. Any thoughts, tips on the pros and cons of event sponsorship? Friends, I'd love to hear your feedback too, because so many times I see posts or I hear questions and that you guys are going to a fair, you're going to an event. And I don't always hear great success stories. Sometimes you feel like it's good to have a presence there. Sometimes you do it, and this goes for you, Jennifer. Sometimes you do these things because it's a good thing to do, to be politically correct, to show your support for an organization. You feel good about it. You want to be seen there, but you may not have high business expectations. At the end of the day, you're spending time, you're spending money, you're spending resources, and you're putting yourself out there. And obviously, you might as well try to maximize it as well as possible. So here's what I would say to you, Jennifer. Number one, congratulations for really focusing your niche on groups, on luxury, and on faith-based travel. Number two, I do believe that you should probably turn down all the other times they come knocking on your door for you to be a sponsor. I know it's hard to say no, and sometimes you've got to say yes because it's the right thing to do. But the more time and focus and resources you put to pursuing that niche, the more business you'll get. Here's the hard part. The hard part is putting your money where your mouth is. The hard part is walking the walk after you've talked the talk. The hard part is saying, oh man, maybe I should still do it, even though I'm not going to get the kind of business I really want, the kind of business I love, but just in case. So you end up spending time and resources and perhaps attracting the clients who are booking the things you really don't love. It's hard to say no, but the no also comes with rewards because it gives you the ability of more time and resources to pursue the events you know you need to be at. I hope that helps, and I want to finish it off with this to you. Whether it's church, whatever it is, absolutely, you need to sign yourself up for every list possible. Attend to every event possible where those people, the people who you love, who you want to do the most business with, where the group potentials are, you need to, of course, get up and get out and go attend those events and meet people. Don't give out cards, get cards. Get out, make friends. You guys know, Jennifer, you're new here, but everybody on the phone knows that I'm on a campaign of having 15-minute meetings with people all over Memphis, and it's been phenomenal. In fact, just Tuesday, I had a 90-minute meeting with some folks, the small business folks who do grants with Federal Express. Have you heard of that company? FedEx. I've got a new friend. Kelly's my new friend. She's awesome. And it may lead to some very exciting opportunities. In any case, that's number one, Jennifer, and for all of you. Number two, why wait? Why wait to be invited to an event, to be invited to sponsor something? Why don't you create the event? It could be educational. Remember, you don't want to create an event that sells. Okay, because people are going to feel intimidated. I don't want to go. I'm going to get beat over the head and ask for, before I leave the room, ask for my checkbook or my credit card. Give information, share, spread the love. See, the thing, Jennifer, is you can declare, and listen, everybody, you guys can declare your niche within a niche within your niche. That's real fine and dandy. You can brand like that. You can make sure your website, your business card, your social media all talk to that point, and they're on point and focused and brand consistent. But it's another if you demonstrate, if you do the things that prove you are who you are. I'll say that again because it sounded so good. You need to do things that prove you are who you are. Case in point is the thing I'm about to launch in August called the Group Sales Success Summit. I'm doing it for so many reasons, but I'm going to continue proving I am who I am. Help agents out there who want to pursue groups, build my list, and make a few more sales of group boot camp and maybe even some speaking engagements. So I didn't wait to be invited to an event, friends, or to be hired to do another boot camp. In fact, I have one coming up with, I think, Dream Vacations the end of June. The end of June. It's not a boot camp. I'm going to be a part of their group training event. I'm doing about 3-4 hours worth of training. But I decided to be the catalyst. I decided to be the entrepreneur and create the event. Jennifer, that's something that you can do too. So I hope that helps. All right, let me check the board, see what we got here. I'm going to take some questions. Jennifer says, yes, that makes sense. Awesome. Okay, Karen says, let me just finish this off. Jennifer says that's great advice. And yes, it's hard to say no. I'm going to get out and start getting cards. Rock and roll. There you go. And report back. Bonding verification. Oh, yeah. Kisa, I actually have information on the bonding stuff. Oh yeah, I'm going to get to you. I promise, I promise. I haven't uploaded it yet. Oh my gosh, because I've asked several people for that and I haven't. All right, let me go to Karen now. Question, group insurance for group leaders. I had posted this a while back and I'm looking for some insurance in case the group leader can't make the trip at the last minute. I paid lots of money for the components of the trip. For example, hotels, dinner, sightseeing, etc., that are non-refundable. I worry about this each year I do my culinary trips. Someone suggested an event insurance company, but they turned me down because I applied as a broker. Maybe I should apply as differently. Help! And that's in all caps. Karen, that's a great question. And I do remember we talked about this on a prior program. And I'm trying to, for all this stuff to remind me of what we had discussed. I think we definitely had discussed some kind of a liability insurance on this. And it's, you know, it's challenging, friends, when you find another person who's the leader. They could be a celebrity in a big way, or they could be a celebrity in a small way, but still they have followers. And the whole group is built around that person. And what if? What if they don't go? What if they can't go? And sometimes, Karen, I don't know if this case, if you had a contract with this person, the leader, and in their contract, what does it say? So I will start there, you know, and something, food for thought, everybody. Food for thought. There we go. I'm very punny today. Oh, bad. Have you signed a contract saying that they are scheduled to appear? And if they can't show, will they send somebody else? You know, so I'm going to give you the brass tacks here, using me as an example. I am hired for speaking events and I charge a good amount of money. And they're relying on me, depending on me, that I'm going to show up and I'm going to give a keynote. I'm going to be a power speaker. Anybody here going to Vegas? I'm going to be a power speaker at the Travel Leaders Conference. And they depend on me. If I don't show, there's an empty stage. It's a really big problem. In my contract, now listen up, everybody. In my contract, I give to my clients, I have a clause, and I'm happy to share it with you guys. The problem is this clause needs to come from your leader, your group leader, the person, the speaker, the celebrity, whatever. And maybe you can give it to them and have them sign it. I'll give it to you. But I am protecting the person who's hiring me and saying, I will be there. However, if there's some catastrophic event that prevents me from being there, I will find a suitable replacement to fill my shoes and or refund in full the amount of money. Now, I know that may not apply to you guys because you may not be paying upfront or whatever. But of course, you want that money back if you had paid them upfront, which is always a bad thing to do. But perhaps you put the onus on them, Karen, to find a replacement for them. So you're not scrambling, because I would hope that if they're a big shot, they know other people who are big shots. And if whatever happens, they get sick or they get a call for a more lucrative gig, let them out of their pocket, get somebody and make it happen. Make them liable. At the same time, how do you protect yourself with the customer, with the consumer who has that expectation? Well, you're going to have to put that in writing too in the terms and conditions, saying scheduled to appear. If for some catastrophic failure or catastrophic event, they are unable to attend, a suitable replacement will be found. You know, this is just life. This is just what happens. And, you know, the insurance issue, you probably are best off personally making sure your corporation has liability insurance in case you get sued. Otherwise, I can't answer that. I will ask my friend Isaac. He's the VP over at Travel Insured, and my other friends, see if we have any other answers and any places you can call. Karen, I hope that helps. Let me know. Karen says, Diana's private chef for 4 years. They come to Darren's stories No one else can tell his stories. I get it. Many of these people have been on 6 or 7 of these trips. I don't know any other chef could replace him. So the other option, Karen, is having a cancellation clause, and perhaps it would be canceled for any reason, a CFAR clause, and make sure you do that right, because I messed it up with my river cruise. I forgot that I had to offer it and sell it by a certain time. It has to be, and this is with travel insurance, so I missed the mark. I could not offer cancel for any reason insurance, but if you offer only that insurance package, and it may be too late, then should they cancel, then everyone can cancel. Everyone can cancel. But basically, it's up to the customer, because they're paying for the insurance. They have to pay extra for that cancel for any reason insurance. Now remember, I don't want to get off track here, but you can't say cancel for any reason insurance is included. But you can say that it has been added and will be paid for. I mean, the specific words you got. We've been down this road before you can use, because you can include it, but you can't say you've included it. And ultimately, you'll have to ask them if you can even give people an option to opt out. But in this case, Karen, you don't want them opting out, because what if the big shot can't show up? And nobody can replace the big shot. I get it. Then maybe that's the kind of insurance everyone should have. Okay, Karen said it's too late for that. I'll remember that for the next year. All right, cool beans. Let me just go back here. Group insurance, make sure I catch everybody. I wish you guys could see what y'all are typing in, but they don't offer that as an option. So let me address Kisa's question, and here's my commitment to you, Kisa, is that I received so much information on this that I didn't have time to distill it. That's a good word, distill it and post it. But I promise you I will, because really it's not terribly complicated. If we really put me up against the wall and say, just tell me. So there's something you could get what's called a, now see, I'm going to get it wrong because I don't have the information in front of me. But yes, there are some government and some not-for-profit. There are some organizations that require that you are bonded. Generally speaking, most companies and other businesses, and certainly individual people, don't require that. So if you want to get into that game, and I'm pretty sure you said you did, where you're going to be dealing with organizations that require bonding, you're going to need it. And I believe it's called a surety bond, S-U-R-E-T-Y. So here's my pledge to you. So I don't open mouth, insert foot. I'm going to distill that information, and I'm going to get that posted today. I am sorry it took so long, but I contacted different sources, and I wanted to see if I was missing anything, and I've got different. I just have to distill it. All right, so I don't know if I've told you anything you don't already know, but I promise I'm going to get it down and get it posted. Lynn, hey Lynn, says typically cancel for any reasons insurance does not include 100% refunds, but partial credit towards a future trip. Okay, thank you very much for illuminating that. Did you hear that, friends? It does not include 100% refund, but partial credit towards a future trip. So in this case, what if it's written into your contract with the celebrity chef, the storyteller, the person, let's just say the celebrity for now, that if something catastrophic happens, that another date has to be picked so that everyone can apply it to that. Listen, there's probably no easy solution here. It gets complicated. I think I told you guys. Did I tell you guys that when I did the New York Football Giants cruise, I had great names on the roster. And guess what happened? They won the Super Bowl that year. You're probably saying, so why is that a bad thing? Well, that became a bad thing because all the players who had signed up for the Giants cruise were going to play in is it called the Pro Bowl? Hey guys, I know less about football than I know about golf. No, I know less about golf than I know about football. You know what I'm saying? Don't think anything less of me, but I think it's called the Pro Bowl, which happens. And the Pro Bowl, of course, guess when that was scheduled? Right in the middle of the cruise, so all the big names couldn't go. Now they followed their promise and their contract, and they provided other players, and we had to send an email out to everybody who booked. This is it. This is what we got. And it was what it was. They ended up doing a great job. They did terrific. But, it's a problem, especially if it's coming down to one person, Karen. If it's coming down to one person, it's always a challenge. Lynn says any meeting, which is I guess it's a platform. This is GoToWebinar. Lynn is saying any meeting allows everyone to see each other's comments, and Zoom also with a question mark. I don't know. Yeah, I'm going to look into it. I have been so addicted and comfortable to the GoToWebinar platform. It's expensive, but I use it and I know how it works, and it's fairly reliable. But I'm going to look into that, and I'm going to keep pestering GoToMeeting to see GoToWebinar if they're going to ever add that as an option. Gina says it's a surety bond and can be purchased through a licensed insurance broker. Thank you. So this is available to anybody for anything, and if I'm not mistaken, you're putting money into escrow, and it proves to people that you're covered in case of emergency, something disastrous. You've got money in the bank to protect you. It's a surety bond, can be purchased through a licensed insurance broker. Thank you, Gina, and we're going to come back to that. All right. Now, I want to just take let me just read this from Karen regarding sponsorship. I donate lots of baskets to charities and events, but I just heard recently that if I do that, I should ask for a mailing list in return. I liked that. Never thought of doing that before. Hey, everybody, did you hear that? Absolutely. If you're given, maybe there's something you can get back. If you're giving something, can you get that list? Can you make a statement on their private Facebook group page? Well, how can you leverage it? Now, I don't want you to think I have a selfish heart, because I believe it's okay to give when nobody's watching. I believe it's incredibly beautiful for us to give and donate anonymously. That said, when it comes to business donations like this, what can you get? Just ask. All I can say is no. Thank you for inspiring us, Karen. I appreciate that. Okay, here we go. I think we're okay. We're good. So I want to switch gears, if you would allow me. I still have more questions here. I have questions from Judy. I have one from Yolanda, and I have something here from Lori. I know Lori can't be here today, but she's probably listening someplace else after. Now, I don't know if you've had an opportunity to download that Group Sales Success Summit page. There's a link. And you guys are the very first agents to see this. Now, what I'm going to attempt to do, let me see if I could do this. Hold on, is go and show it to you online so I don't lose you here. Let's see. Now, can you guys see? Tell me if you guys can see this coming through. Would somebody just tell me? You don't have to go log in yourself. There you go. Oh, Jeannie signed up for it. Good. How funny is that? Because so everybody can see this. Terrific. So here's the deal, everybody. Just so you know, where it says get free access here, that button ain't working. All right? That button, don't click that button, because I have not activated it yet, because nobody knows this page exists yet. So you guys are being let in on a secret. However, you see over here where it says sign up here now? Oh, look, it got big. See that? That one is working. So if you want, you can absolutely sign up, and it would help me test the systems too. So thank you. Gina, that's the button I use. That one. Thank you, Gina. Perfect. Because the top one, I know how to manipulate websites and stuff, but I know just enough until I break it and get myself in trouble. And my web designer, Roslani, she's out for the day. So I didn't want to mess around. So what I want to do is we don't have to spend a lot of time on this, because this is your time, but I'm excited to announce this, and I wanted to make sure everybody understands what I'm doing here, because I'm not going to sort of pause and give you time to read it. I want you to read it and discover it. Let me know if you have any questions, comments, or suggestions. What I'm looking to do is not wait to be hired for an event, but I'm looking to stimulate this myself. I like being in the leadership role, the leadership position, and I need to consistently position myself as a leader, as the guru in groups. Because remember, Jennifer, you're declaring your niche. I declared my niche in February 2015. And I love all business. I love all aspects of travel business, especially. And I train on it. I teach on it. I just did a keynote for the MAST group here in Memphis on loyalty. But I realized that it was essential for me to have a niche too, to champion something, and so it's groups. So this event, I'm going to load up, I'm not sure how many speakers. It could be 20, it could be 30, it could be 40 speakers who are going to give keynote addresses. And you're probably saying, but I'm going to be out of town. When do we tune in? This kind of stuff. So here's how it works, friends. During the summit dates, by the way, the summit dates are August 1 through August 7. Nobody knows this yet. It's called the Whisper Campaign. Every day during the summit, you're going to receive an email in the morning, and in that email is going to have a series of links. So basically, you can watch it at 9 o'clock in the morning, you can watch it on your lunch at noon, or you can watch it at midnight. Or if you miss a day, watch it the next day. But every day you're going to get a series of links. Each link is a video keynote or workshop from a different elite speaker. And I've only got a few faces up here right now, but I have a lot more people. Everyone I've asked has said yes so far. Everyone. So I've got a snowball effect going on, and they love it because it's convenient for them. Why? Because they're pre-recording this. And I told them to make it short, sweet, group-tacular, and fun. And in the process, of course, this is being brought to you by Group Sales Bootcamp by Stuart. So I'm looking to build my list, reposition myself, and this kind of stuff. And there's going to be some surprises there too, because I'm going to do some training modules myself, and these training modules are going to be new modules for bootcamp. Because every year I want to add new stuff to bootcamp, and I haven't done it this year in bootcamp yet. I did it last year. Well, I did Pitch Perfect, but I want to do a whole new series to keep adding value to bootcamp. So any comments, questions, suggestions? Karen says, I'll be on my culinary trip to Scotland back on the 4th, so I'll catch some of it. Absolutely. So when you come back, Karen, even though you come back on the 4th, you will have day 1, day 2, day 3, and day 4 emails, and you can toggle back and you can look at them. All right, and those will be available free during the dates of the event. And now you're saying, okay, Stuart, what do you mean they're going to be free during the dates of the event? So let me hold on. Let me just go back to the slide here and come back to this and that. So you may be saying, Stuart, what's the catch here? Well, the catch is this. It is absolutely, positively 100% free for the entire industry. So when I give you guys the go-ahead, I will hope you'll share the word, spread the word, get it out there that Cohen has got something really big going on, free, really cool and different. It's never done before, never been done before. But when August 8th comes around, it all goes offline. And if they want to access it, anybody who wants to own it and have it and access it forever, they'll pay, okay, because it's worth it, or they can join bootcamp, which means, and here's where I'll end the conversation, which means that you guys who are in group bootcamp, it will be in bootcamp forever. You guys will have forever access. So Karen, if you're on that plane, or Nancy, you're traveling, whoever, if you guys are out there and you miss some of it, you guys never have to worry. You will have forever access to all the stuff, okay? Because you paid for boot camp, you're loyal to me, I'm loyal to you, and that's the way it is. It's going to add a lot of value to boot camp. All right, let me see your comments. Nancy says, Summit sounds great. When are we coming to Memphis? Nancy, I haven't forgotten about that. I would like to do a boot camp here in Memphis in 2019. Ain't never going to happen this year. I've got 2 big gigs in June. And my daughter's graduating from her master's program. You don't want to hear my stuff. It's all good. It's wonderful, terrific. And then my daughter's getting married in the fall. I got so much going on this year, and it's all good. And I'm launching 2 new businesses, Solar Pro Network and a yoga mat company. More details to come at another time. And of course, the group sales success summit, which is an enormous undertaking myself. Jennifer said, this is great. I will share this with my agent friends. So glad you're leading by example. You're welcome. So absolutely, if you've got friends, you know, trickle it out there. Just the only problem is that link in that header isn't working. So give me a day. Give me a day. I'll post it in our Facebook group too. Karen says, every one of those companies will say they do groups. One thing they would really be helpful is if they could talk about what type of groups they do and see the most of. What are the best practices of the most successful agents? What kind of corporations, incentive travel works best in their product? Absolutely. Understand, Karen, that I have told them that this can't be a product presentation. I said, we're here to inspire and motivate and call to action the agent community. And I've picked people who I know who are phenomenal, and I think they're going to knock it out of the park. But I'm also bringing in a lot of trainers to give more practical tips and best practices. So I'm going to have a nice balance of all of the above. I think it's going to be very powerful. But I totally agree, and I appreciate your comment here. And I probably will share this comment with them. How's that? And if you guys have any other comments, either share it here or share it in the Facebook group, because the more, that's why I'm telling you, the more feedback I get from you guys, so I hear it from you, I'll share it, say, hey, by the way, I'm trickling the word out, and here's the feedback I'm getting. So when you go to produce your video, your keynote, your training, keep this kind of stuff in mind. And remember, I'm picking the people who I know, who I believe are the great influencers. They're my friends, and they're awesome at what they do. Okay. Karen asked when we're coming to Memphis. If it's August, you should on to it, Maine, not in Memphis. Yeah, I don't know when we're going to do 2019 group boot camp in Memphis. I'll let you know. Judy says Memphis, but not in April 2019, please. Right. And Judy, good segue to your question. Oh, by the way, one more thing. I'm going to take my glasses off for this. I'm going to take a sip of coffee. 1 second, please. So here's an offer. Here's an invitation. Here's an opportunity. When you go to that group sales success summit page, that's a mouthful. As you scroll down below the speakers, it says Success Spotlight. I will endeavor to recognize and honor agents who have done great in the group arena, that have a story, an anecdote to share. So they can show off, they can be proud, they can brag, and I can give them a platform to tell their story. It will be an interview form, a short interview I will conduct via Skype. You just need a camera and you need a microphone, okay? I'm giving this opportunity first and foremost to you guys, my group boot campers. And so many of you, Sam, so many of you have done stuff, and whether you use something at a boot camp that you've never done before, group launch sequence or whatever, the 15-minute meeting thing, whatever, or it's a success that you've had after having failures. Whatever your story is, there's no rules. I'm going to give you the opportunity to sign up to be interviewed. And I'll I'll publish a calendar. You pick a time slot, and all I ask is that you have a camera and a microphone and just some light on your face. And we're going to interview you and showcase your success. What do you think of that? Do I have any takers? Anybody interested out there? That's what I'd like to know. And then we're going to get to Judy's question. What do we got here? Anybody? Nobody's typing in. Nobody has any. There we go. Karen said she'll do it. Who else is going to do it? Anybody else going to do it? Nancy, I'm interested in telling a story, but which one? I like your style. All right. So I'm putting it out there. For those of you who are watching this after the fact, stay tuned. Watch the Facebook group and my emails for more details. All right. Judy says, Judy. Here we go. I'm working with the Chamber of Commerce for a group trip to Ireland The catch is that they want to go in April 2019. Listen up, everybody. Easter is late next year, April 21. So I want to avoid that. Spring break in our school district here is the last week of March. The trip is 11 days. So if you picture in a calendar, friends, you've got Easter coming up the end of April. You've got spring break there in Judy's hometown, which happens the last week of March. So suddenly you're compressed to about a 2 or 3 week period, and the trip is 11 days. Do you think this would be doable to avoid the Holy Week and not be rushed? Also, do you think there is still time to really market this? Well, this is a real tough one. I would ask you, I always start off with a bazillion questions that we don't have time for me to answer right now. But we can continue the conversation in boot camp too, or via email. But here's what I'm going to tell you right now. You know, the traveling over Easter, of course, would only work if everyone is going to celebrate Easter together. That's a real tough one because so many people have established traditions of being together and not traveling. Then again, there are some people who do travel. They always travel. So those are considerations. And I know you didn't even mention, Judy, about traveling over Easter, but it's something to consider that perhaps if this group is that close, they would do it. But it's a Chamber of Commerce group. So my guess is they're close, but not that close. They're not family per se. Now, if you try to squeeze it in the middle, I don't know the ages, if they have kids in school, and if that's when they travel with their family someplace. If they go to Disney, if they go someplace warm, or if they just take time off, I don't know. Or would they bring the kids to Ireland if they have kids? That's a big ask. It's an expensive trip. See, I'm asking you these questions to think about it. So what we're doing is we're asking people to travel before Easter, which they certainly might do as long as they're back in time to do the cooking, to do the planning, especially if they're having it at their house. But I wouldn't worry as much about that. My big bone of contention here would be the spring break situation and filling it in. I don't know the age groups of the people going, if they have kids or not, if it's college kids, because what if they all mostly have college age kids, then it may not be an issue because there's no public school spring break all at the same time. But if a lot of them have kids in school, public school, and they're going to be, then that may be a tough ask. It may be tough to try to squeeze it in there. I don't know. Now, the ultimate question, and you guys chime in if you have feedback as well. Do you think there's still time to really market this? Well, we're under a year away. We're already in mid to late May, for crying out loud, right? By the time you get it booked, locked in, you put together your group launch sequence where you start doing your information stuff, you're probably talking June. Because remember, the last thing you want to do is put out pricing first. And I know what you're thinking, but Stuart, time is tight. Shouldn't we just skip all that and just get the pricing out? And I'm here to tell you, no, it's not going to work. It's not. Still need to do group launch sequence. Yes, you can compact it and do it over 1 or 2 week period, but Ireland is a big trip. You want to give people time to see and to understand and to learn. You could probably do it maybe over a 2 week period, but I think it's going to be tight. This is a big trip. It's 11 days. If they're not all retired and they have to take off over 11 days, and if they have to commit a lot of money and it's less than a year away, I would say not going to work. If they're all retired and they have a good amount of disposable income, and maybe you know a little bit about them and their travel history, that they travel and they go on a dime, they're sort of close-in bookers, you got a shot. And if they don't have kids in public school. I didn't paint a very glorious picture for you, but I'm nothing if not honest when I'm asked. You know my rule. I'll tell you the things you need to hear, even though it's stuff you may not want to hear. And I'm glad you asked that question, Judy. Let's see what we got on the boards here. Karen says, Judy, maybe shorten the trip to 7, 8 days. Is that an option? Sometimes there's other ways of of launching something, and it may not be the original protocol. But again, if their heart was set on 11 days, if you explain to them, hey, we can't do 11 in this time slot for all of these reasons. What do you think? Do you agree with me? Or they may say, no, we're all ready, we're all in. Of course, everyone's always going to say that until you do group launch sequence and you see who pays, who doesn't pay, or who shows up for the sessions. But perhaps a different type of a trip if that's the only time period. Thank you, Karen. I appreciate that. Yolanda says, check into going for St. Patrick's Day week. Absolutely. I think that's a great idea as well. Can that be done? Is the timing flexible? And the other question I have for you, who's setting this time period at the chamber? Is it the person at the top who's being selfish? And I mean this in a loving way, saying, boy, I can only go if it's this time, therefore I'm going to impose this on the entire Chamber of Commerce. This is because I can only go here. That's when I'm going to put that time imposition on everybody. Whose time frame is this anyway? Thank you, Yolanda, for that. Karen says Easter is April 21. Maybe run it after Easter. Can it be done after Easter, April 28 to May? Another option. Let's think outside the box. Judy said it was requested by the executive director. The group would be all over the place for ages. I'm wanting to offer it for September. So there you go. So it's the executive director. And here's the thing. If you've got, listen, friends, enthusiasm, excitement, if you've got momentum coming out of the executive director, the person at the top, that's great, because that's half the battle, is convincing the person at the top to do it, right? Usually you have to work your way up, and getting their attention is really hard. But it's awesome. But now we have to ascertain, is this only when the executive wants to go or can go? It could be a problem because maybe they can go, but maybe nobody else can. So really this requires some expert salesmanship, if you will, to play a great detective to understand why this time frame. Let's talk about other options. And honest to goodness, listen to me, Judy and everybody, this is where you guys shine. This is where you show your worth and you take control. They think they know it all, but they don't. You got to lay this out and show them the pros and the cons, and show them good, better, best. If they want, the executive director could be male or female, I don't know. If they want maximum success, you need a time period where there's maximum availability of the people. And perhaps September 19 would be better. Don't know, but I appreciate everybody's input. Nancy says, ask members with a survey about dates. You can absolutely do that, but I wouldn't just put it out there and say, hey, when do you want to go? I would come out and I would list 3 or 4 or 5 different time periods. Not too many, but a handful. Because you know what happens, right? If you ask 12 people, when do you want to go, you're going to get 12 different dates. But it's important to do, too. So maybe a survey would help, Nancy. I agree. And people sort of get a buy-in. And don't say, and you can do first, here's an idea. First place, second place, third place. Rate these dates as best to worst for you. Because you don't want someone to feel bad. If they say, well, we want to go in September, and September's not picked, and they feel dejected that you didn't listen to them. You don't want to deject them. You don't want to reject them. So if you list, hey, please rate this in terms of when it's good, better, best for you to go, in terms of your preference. Because that will also help when you go to pick the final dates. Thank you, Nancy, for that. Jennifer says, where can I find the link to your river cruise example of a group launch sequence? It's probably in an old Facebook post. It's in boot camp. You may not be on those pages yet, but Jennifer, I will repost that on Facebook and or send you an email with those links so you can see exactly what I did. All right, here we go. We've got exactly 10 minutes left. Get your questions in, get your comments in. I didn't see, you're welcome, Jennifer. I didn't see too many people raising their hand who want to do a Skype interview to show off and to brag about your groups. We'll see. Think about it. Don't be nervous. It's easy. Look at me. Don't be intimidated. We'll set it up. I'll ask you a couple of questions. You'll share your beautiful story, and we'll show you off to the world. Well, to the agent community and to the executives too. All right, here we go. Yolanda, I have a corporate client who wants to do some incentive travel for his sales group. Listen up, everybody. I need your input on this. This is a tough one. He wants to give away 4 trips a year, 1 per quarter. The first one in his budget is $6,000. That's nice. He's open to anything but a cruise. I want to come back to that. He wants air included as well. So for the $6,000, it's out the door. What is the best way to present this when we will not have the individual's name till after the quarter? All right, there's a lot of questions here and a lot of comments I want to make. First of all, just I'm curious, why no cruise? Is it because the corporate client personally does not like cruising? If that's the case, that's kind of too bad, because there's other people who do, and that's but I could be wrong. I don't know why, you know, they don't want to do a cruise, because the only reason why I'm saying this to you, Yolanda, is because, as you guys know, the cruise lines offer these certifications, these certs, CERTS, certs. You can pre-buy them, they have value, and therefore the individual can book whatever they want when they want with you, and it's commissionable. Have you guys ever used certs before? So cruising could be a perfect solution to this, except for the air. So let's just talk about the air right now. Let me give you my thoughts and feedback, and I'm going to look at the boards here. The air is always going to be tough, because you're not going to, I don't know if everybody lives in the same town or if they come all over the country. I always have more questions than answers. But clearly, if they're working for a company and they all live local, you'll know the airport that they're going to be flying out of. So you can certainly do an guesstimation of what the air could be. And that's kind of dangerous, but you can still earmark out of the $6,000 how much towards air, especially if they don't want to do coach, if they want to do comfort class, or, you know, at least get a seat assignment and a seat belt, because I think one day soon the airlines will be charging extra for seat belts. And I say that deadpan serious. The other part of this is that it's one thing, and then I'm going to look at the boards. It's one thing that they're going to pick somebody a quarter. It's another, you know, where they're going to give you the name after the quarter is done, but when the person's going to travel. I'm hoping that you're not restricted with the time frame they can travel, because obviously if they're going to announce the winner and they're going to go get into a limo, go right to the airport and travel, that's a problem. You have no names. So I'm assuming here, Yolanda, that that's not the case, unless that's the way it works, which is that they announce the winner, the limo's outside, and you're whisked away to the airport. If that's not the case, that gives you time. What I would say, though, my final note here is, let's say it's not a cruise. I would first identify a hotel, a resort, a property, and it's probably going to be upscale luxury, because, you know, nobody wants to win, and nothing against Hilton Garden Inn, but nobody wants to win that as their sales incentive trip to stay at a Hilton Garden Inn. You want to find the location, the resort, and so that you know that the chief who's hiring you to do this loves it, pleases it, and most importantly, when the chief puts it out there and say, hey, everybody, who wants to go on this ship? Who wants to go to this resort? Everyone needs to be saying me, 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 me. Because if they are not jumping up and down, they're not going to work hard to win it. So it's got to be very, 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 very exciting, compelling trip. And it could be a choice, because you don't have to book it right away. It could be a choice of 2. When you win, you get to pick this resort or this resort. Some people like to ski in the snow. Some people like to ski on the water. So maybe offer a cold option and a hot option. I'm just saying. And have it as budget controlled as possible. Let's see what the comments are. Nancy, you have a question there. Hang on. I'm going to try to get to it. Let me see if there's any comments here about this. Judy, thank you, Stuart, and all the boot campers for your suggestions. Best reasons to be part of this group. You got it. And everybody, please be sure to share too in the Facebook group as well. And Yolanda says, just not for the first one. So just not for the first one. Yolanda says he wants them to so they don't want to cruise for the first one. He wants them to travel in January, February of 19 for the first one. Okay, so there are more parameters. So for the first one, they have a target date, January, February of 19. Okay, so this will definitely help you get a good idea for pricing and for air pricing too. And that the key would be knowing when you're going to get the names. I assume it's going to be for a couple. And whatever resorts or wherever you pick, maybe you can negotiate and work this out. If the chief says, I want all 4 couples to go to this resort. Otherwise, then you don't really have a lot of leverage because it's not a group. They're individuals. But maybe if everyone agrees that it's going to be this one singular resort, maybe you can work a deal. Otherwise, probably not. So I hope that helped. Gina says, is the incentive for clients or for sales rep? Is the incentive for clients or sales rep? So that's a good question too. I have a feeling it's for sales reps. Yes, is that for sales reps, Yolanda? Marty, hey Marty, says we use our company travel gift certificate that can be used for whatever the client wants to use. This gives maximum flexibility for the traveler instead of only one supplier. Businesses love this flexibility for their recipients. Marty, it's such a great solution. It's right in front of my nose and I didn't see it. Right? It can make it simple and make it really all about the client. Go back to the chief and say, listen, you're gonna award them a $6,000 trip. And I, the travel agent, will work with them one-on-one hand so we give them exactly what they want. That's an option too. And book them a beautiful, magnificent trip of their choice. So, again, you have the relationship, Yolanda, with the client, but this is an interesting solution too. Gina says, is it 1 per quarter or for all travel together? It is 1 per quarter. 1 per quarter. After each quarter, they're going to announce the winner. But they do want the first one to travel in February 19, and I don't know when the first quarter is going to be. I don't know if it's the end of the 4th quarter this year or 3rd quarter based on timing. I don't know that, Gina. Phil says, please clarify more of the cruise lines, certs, and how to use them. Well, a cert, sales rep. So Yolanda, by the way, is confirming that the sales rep, it's sales reps for the company. It's not the clients. So their numbers, their level of success is measured by the company. Oh my goodness, we've got 1 minute left. And Nancy, we didn't get to your question. Okay, I'm going to copy this. I'm going to copy this right now, and I'm going to post it in Facebook because I don't want to forget, so I can answer that. I'm so sorry. I just want to clarify this for Marty. No, for Phil. Hold on. The cert. So it's certs. It's just short for certification. So basically, you pre-buy that, and it's valid for. You could have different degrees of validation when it can be used, but basically, the travel agent buys it, it's commissionable. You give it to the winner, and it's redeemable through your agency. All right, so it just has value, and it has certain parameters on it. It's like a gift certificate, if you will. It's like a gift certificate. And maybe I can get somebody to come onto the Stuart Cohen show from one of the lines so we can have a deeper explanation. But it's almost like a gift certificate, pretty much. That's it. But it locks and it guarantees it's a little bit better than just hey, here's a $100 gift card from Amex. It's better. It ties them into the line and guarantees certain things too. But I can't go into any more detail than that because I'm not so sure. It's been a long time since I've talked about it. All right, we are at time, but hang on a second. Marty says, let me just finish this off. We redeem $150,000 to $250,000 in easy year. Wow! Did you hear that, friends? Marty's gift certificates that they give out, that they sell, and people get. So people are paying for it. It's dollar for dollar, not giving away anything. But it's the concept. We redeem $150,000 to $250,000 in easy year. Hallelujah. Congratulations. That's awesome. Karen says, challenge is getting pricing at the resort during its most expensive period. Absolutely, January, February. And if it's tropical, more than likely it'll be during the most expensive. Absolutely. And that's something for consideration that the chief is got to know. You know, it's got to know. And maybe their first budget has to be higher. I don't know. And final, Gina says if all 4 winners travel together, that gives you more flexibility, and there are things that you can do throughout the quarter to keep them interested in watching and wanting to travel. Absolutely. But that's totally different kind of incentive. That's a group incentive, right? Where everybody travels together on a specific date. A lot of companies do this, but it sounds like the chief wants to do it on an individual basis. So this is a conversation really to have directly with Yolanda and the chief to see what the chief wants. And therein lies the end of the show. Lori, we didn't get to yours. So we're going to have to do that either next time or on Facebook. It's actually already posted on Facebook. My friends, I appreciate you being here with me. I would love to get your feedback, your input, and your participation in the Group Sales Success Summit, because ultimately it's going to be great stuff for you guys too, to help inspire and help transform your business.